scoot over. Hello, hello, YouTube. That's weird. It looks way brighter on YouTube. Let's see if I can get this in there. Bear with us while we get set up. No. Okay. Hello, Instagram. Thank you. I always go YouTube first because YouTube is crickets. Hello, Instagram. Hello, hello. Just getting Facebook ready. You join, tell us where you're from. Hello, hello. So you want to say do the hellos while I get this set up?
We got Peter Fress. We got Always Catching 3. We got Brent Egbert.
Hey, Dad. Hi, guys. Thanks for joining.
We got Mia Miles Seat.
Oh, because I have this at Miami. Let's see. Okay, now we can't see you on Facebook. But then it's like catching that. Is that gonna work? Are we visible on all three? Yes. Oh, Joni. Hey, girl. She is like the photography guru. Been watching all your YouTube videos. You guys are into food photography. Go watch her. She's amazing. She's found her calling in life, Joni. I love it. Hey, Yadira. Welcome back. She's the one that told us about the croissants. So we love you for that. Thank you. Hello, hello. So glad you guys can join us. Hey, Instagram, let us know. We've got a new stand for our phone. So if it's like a little too bouncy, let us know. I'm just worried it's going to stay stable enough. So let us know. Let us know. Yadira, have you found any other good finds with the gluten-free options? We'd love to know. Hey, Molly. Hey, L Morrison 3. Thank you for joining. So if you keep telling us where you're from, we love the hellos. What we do is we do a weekly live food allergy Q&A. We just know that, oh no, what just happened? Instagram. Anything? Sorry, Facebook. Hold on. Let's see. You charged it, right? I didn't look at the battery. Anything? Hello? Hello? I'm going to put my phone up there. Oh, sorry, that is about to bite the dust. We are good, Yadira. Thank you for asking. You know, just try not to melt. We had our first super hot day in Utah. Got up to 93 today, so just getting ready for that summer heat. How are you? And Cosette, hey, allergy management. Facebook is working better than Instagram on my end. I know. That's what he's doing right now. Like our device that we do the Instagram on just went like completely dark. We don't know what just happened, so he's trying to get it back up. So thank you for hopping over. That was a great idea, Cosette. Hopefully others think of that. You just take it off of there?
What's our intro?
Huh?
What's our question for each other?
So, well, let's introduce it. So anyways, we know that having food allergies can sometimes feel isolating, and sometimes it's hard to get all the information you want and those quick doctor's appointments. So we wanted to do just a weekly thing where people could come, we could express what's going on, we can share, we can build that community. So thank you for joining us. We always want to hear what's going on in your allergy world. Tonight, we would love to take questions, and then if we have time, I thought it would be good to discuss summer and all the kind of different aspects of that creates for food allergies. I am Megan, if you are new, and I am the blogger over at Allergy Awesomeness. You can still be awesome even with food allergies. And this is...
And I'm Claudia, Megan's husband, father of 3.
True, true. And do you want us to tell about the food? We usually do that. You're all talking. So We have 3 kids. Our oldest has 10 anaphylactic food allergies. He also has a rare allergic condition called EOE, or eosinophilic esophagitis, and because of that, he avoids 20 plus foods, so 30 together that we avoid. He also has asthma, and then our second oldest has peanut and tree nut allergies, and then we have a little baby, and so far, knock on wood, she does not have any. So that's kind of been our allergy journey the last good while. Neither of us have food allergies. We often get asked that, so it was definitely a learning curve. Wonder if we should try Facebook on here. Oh no, never mind, we can't. So anyways, so that has been our experience, and we always like to start the weekly. That's my tech guy, husband slash technician.
Well, cut me out.
No, you just gotta scoot over. Gotta give the people what they want. See ya. So what? Sorry, all the technical issues have me all discombobulated.
It's our question for each other.
Oh yes. We like to start with tidbits. I just like we should move this more on the is we like to share a tidbit so that way we can see what we have in common, and so you can get to know us better. And last time we did it, we didn't do one last week. Don't worry, you did not miss it last week. I hope you saw the notification. Because of the holiday, we just did not do one, so it feels like it's been a little while. But we did where we shared a tidbit for each other, and that was kind of fun. Because you often don't think of things about yourself that you're used to that are interesting. So, do you want to go first?
Nope, you go first.
Okay. So this man can eat ice cream every night. Like,
Oh, so that's how I thought you were asking me a question.
no, he loves ice cream. I'm not really into ice cream, and I learned after getting married I should always have ice cream in the freezer. And it's just not fair because he can have like a big old bowl of ice cream every night and like never gain a pound and still have a 6-pack. So love him and hate him for it. Not fair, but glad that my kids.
It doesn't work that way. I do work out.
He does, but still, for what he eats, some people would not have that physique.
This doesn't just happen for me.
No, he sneezes and there's a 6-pack. So. But I'm glad my kids will get those genes, so there's that. If I can't enjoy them, I'll pass them on to my kids. All right, you got a tidbit for me?
I don't.
All right.
Because I thought we were asking each other questions.
No.
Um.
You want to think on that?
Megan likes to wear flip-flops.
Yes, 24/7.
If you know me, I am a shoe enthusiast. I don't consider flip-flop shoes, by the way.
The best shoes.
But Megan would rather spend 99.9% of her time wearing flip-flops.
So comfy. Thank you, Yadira. You know what?
I think it's gross, but nor do I feel it's an all-around shoe. I thought they created the athletic shoe for a reason, but I guess not. And she's not from the beach either. She's from Idaho also. Like I can kind of understand if you're from Hawaii or California.
Yes, you do. Even during the winter.
Beach or something like that. But no, because my family's from the islands. And yeah,
he'll wear like tennis
flip-flops
shoes to the beach. Okay,
like she does.
Take them off.
So
here's the problem.
I don't think there's even such thing as a Haitian flip-flop, to be honest. I've never been to the Caribbean, but I've never seen
Leah says all she wears is flip-flops.
A Caribbean person from the Caribbean wear flip-flops. They'll usually wear those nice sandals, leather sandals, that cover your feet, but it's basket weaved or whatever, but not flip-flops. I personally don't like flip-flops because if they don't stay on my feet, I wear what you call slides, the ones that wrap around all your toes, but the one in between the toe, the heel ends up crooked for me. So I don't wear flip-flops. I tried it, but I don't wear them.
In my defense, I hate going barefoot in my house, so I have like nice flip-flops I wear around the house, and I just forget I'm wearing them, so I end up wearing them everywhere. But I have cute shoes, and I have boots and stuff that I wear during the winter. It's just I wear them around the house all day long, and I'm mostly at home. So what do you know? So yeah, you wear flip-flops 99% of the time, and I wear them even during the winter. Yeah, they're just so comfy and so easy to put on.
I don't understand how they're comfy, but And she has a high arch.
I don't know. Let's keep trying Instagram. Okay. So does anyone have any questions that they want to share or experiences that have happened this week in their food allergy world? We always love hearing what's current with you guys, what's going on. And I want to know, like, who's all out of school? Like, has summer officially started for everyone? I just assume it has, because we've been having summer for like 2 weeks. So
well, it's June.
So I figured it was safe to do like a summer topic, but maybe not. Maybe
I think most people get out of school in June, no matter where you're from. Our son was in kindergarten, so they let him out for some reason, but I can't remember if that's the way it was for me for kindergarten, but
back in the day,
I think seniors might be done with school by now.
Something like that. Yeah, I think I've seen most graduations. So I know, like, for us, one issue that we often run into, I don't know, I'd be interested to hear your opinion with summer. But
Lady Catherine.
Oh, hey, good to see you again. So I hope people are jumping over from Instagram. I'm sorry, Instagram, it says it has stopped working. I don't know if it's just our device or if Instagram is down in general, but that's what we're dealing with. So do you buy most foods or cook your kids' foods? So because our son has so many food allergies, I have yet to find a bakery that will work for him, except for one like an hour away, and it's expensive. So no, I've never bought anything of theirs. I bake everything. With the exception of Sabelle Pascal's cookies, I will get those like every once in a while for like, I don't know, if we're going to a park all day and I want like a special treat, but I just prefer to bake my own just because I feel like it's cheaper and I know what I like. And a lot of allergy food, you'll spend like the $20 on it and you'll end up not liking it. So that's kind of what works for me. But as far as like cooking, there's just, again, there's so few options. Like we were just saying, we're going up to Idaho this weekend. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? Because one of the days we're there is a Sunday and like most restaurants are closed there. So I'm like, what are we going to eat? Like we can't, like our 5 restaurants that we can eat out at, like they're closed. Like what are we going to do? So it's just hard. It's hard to eat out even when we want to, you know what I mean? So it makes it tough. Okay. What do you recommend storing EpiPens? It's 90 degrees here in North Carolina. Ooh, good question, Lisa. Yes, it was 93 today in Utah. I'm not ready for it. Utah sits around the high 90s for most of the summer.
Not in your pocket.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Not in your car.
Probably
Absolutely not.
Probably in a bag or a shaded area. Is there anywhere specific as far as you're asking? As far as the 90 degrees?
I think you're just concerned about once you're outside, right? Is that what you're saying? So
keeping it in a bag.
Well, but here's where I think your question is coming from. Because it's temperature sensitive, right? Like it says even on the thing.
That's why I asked like where exactly are you concerned about?
So you should fact check this, but I talked about it with my allergist, and he says that, that you'd have to stay outside in like crazy high temperatures for like a really long time for it to affect it. So unless we're going to like the beach all day long, or I know we're going to be outside for more than like 4 or 5 hours, I just keep it in my diaper bag because it's shaded in there. I don't know, like when I put my hand in my diaper bag, I don't like put a thermometer in there, but it never feels scorching hot because it's shaded. It's in its own little pocket. So yeah,
shade.
Thank you. Yes, so gets the point so much faster than I do.
Shade, not in your pocket where your body heat is gonna.
And I've heard that even if it degrades a little, it's still mostly effective. So that's the gamble I'm willing to do, mostly because we get new EpiPens every year. So we've got like all these extras. I always have like 4 on hand because both of our kids have multiple food allergies. So I assume like if one doesn't work, I have other options. If that's not a gamble you're willing to take.
The cooler or the ice pocket.
Yeah. But then you have to worry because I think it's not supposed to go below like 30 something. So I just feel like it's a gamble either way. Like you don't want it to be too cold, you don't want it to be too hot, and that's why I just keep it in my diaper bag.
Yeah, like I wouldn't have the ice pack directly on it.
No.
But if it's something like in a container where it may heat up, and the air inside the container may heat up, and then I would have it in the container.
Plastic or something that's going to more conduct heat. I know I've seen on Amazon, I can link to it after in the notes or in the comments. I've seen EpiPen carrying cases that have like a little sleeve to put something colder in it to keep it temperature wise if you're concerned about that. I've just never personally purchased them because, you know, you can look through the clear thing to see like if it's starting to get cloudy or whatever, and I feel like ours have always been fine and I've never gone to any extra precaution. That said, that's just my style of parenting. Like I'm just like, let's go, we're fine. So
I know that's
to each their own.
I know that's one of the main reasons why we don't store EpiPen in the car glove box.
Yes, 100%.
The car would heat up.
Yes.
Sucks because it would be convenient, but
I know.
It's the responsible thing to do.
Exactly. Unless I guess you live like somewhere where it's like perfect weather all the time. Okay, so Anita asked, because she had asked, do you mostly cook or bake your own foods? And since I live in the kitchen, I cook pretty much everything from scratch. That's why I started my recipe site, allergyawesomeness.com, because I would like cry scrolling through Pinterest because it was so hard to find recipes that worked for our family that were top 8 free and actually turned out and didn't have crazy expensive ingredients. So any recipe that I find that we love, that we test out, I throw it up on there. So that is my tried and true. And I grocery shop from my own site. I cook from my own site constantly. Like that's my own personal cookbook. That's all our family favorites. So I hope that helps. Dana Thompson, they talk about allergies. I listen to them almost every week. Oh, thank you. I guess you're talking about us. With your son's multiple allergies, which restaurants do you go to? Okay. Do you want to list the list?
So we've been to Costa Vida, which is a Mexican taco type place.
I think it's mostly on the West Coast, on the East Coast.
And so we go there because they usually will make accommodations as far as changing their gloves. They have corn instead of flour tortillas as an option. There's certain meats that we know that they don't put dairy in. And so, yeah, we like that.
And you can watch them make it, which I enjoy. You'd be like, you know.
Yes. You can monitor them making it.
This is nice.
Another one that we like is Chick-fil-A. They use, what is that word with the fryers?
Dedicated fryers.
They use dedicated fryers. So
if you're not familiar with that, it means
they don't use the same oil that they use to fry battered meat, use like chicken nuggets or meat or whatever.
Yeah.
They don't use that for their French fries. So they use a separate one for their French fries. So that makes it able for us to have our son have French fries there without having to worry about cross-contamination of flour.
Mm-hmm. And Amanda, so she lives, I know where there are Costa Vidas, and she asked specifically, what do we get? So we get a corn tortilla, we get the chicken, we get the black beans. You can't do the rice. They put butter in the rice. And then my son loves the pico and the guac on top, a little bit of lettuce. And there you go. And just FYI, it's been confusing because they have changed recipes. And so sometimes we've gone to 2 different locations with the chicken. And they'll say, oh, our chicken has milk in it. And I go to their website and I show them, here's your allergen information. It says it does not. And I have personally talked to the head chef because I met him. Sometimes I do TV segments, and we happen to be doing a TV segment at the same time. And I was like, oh, we love your restaurant, blah, 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 blah. So I got his personal email. I got his business card after. And I wrote him, and I was like, what is going on? Sometimes I show up at your restaurant, and your manager says one thing, but your website says another. And he said, always go with the website. The website is the most up to date, and the manager may not be aware. So if that is helpful. And that's why it's so worth like calling, emailing, talking, so on. If a manager seems unsure, go above. Go ahead.
So which chicken? Is there more than one chicken at Costa Vida?
I only know the one.
I think there's only one chicken, Amanda, unless you're asking about somewhere else.
Unless you're asking like the toppings, like they can put like a mango dressing on the chicken or stuff like that.
Yes, Chick-fil-A does use peanut oil, right?
I can't remember, but if they do, we've been fine.
Yeah, we can do peanut oil.
And both of our sons have severe peanut allergies.
Yes.
And I know, again, that can sometimes be a personal choice. But
yeah. So, Dina, we can do peanut oil.
Yeah.
But we can't do peanuts.
Our personal allergist, I talked to him, always check it out. But I was like, what's the deal with peanut oil? And he was like, oh, it's so highly refined. The protein is killed. You should be fine. And we've been eating at Chick-fil-A for almost 7 years.
Yeah.
And we haven't ever had an issue.
Yeah, Cafe Rio, we can't do Cafe Rio.
Full wheat.
They're not allergy friendly at all. No. And it sucks because I love Cafe Rio. And yeah, they don't usually give you a corn option for tortilla. They have wheat in everything and all their sauces and spices.
They're like Costa Vida, they pride themselves on being like gluten-free and allergen friendly. So they have great protocols. We just feel a lot safer at Costa Vida.
Yeah. And then with Chick-fil-A, our son can get the grilled chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
Versus the breaded chicken nuggets.
So we do the fries, the breaded,
the grilled
chicken nuggets, and the lemonade.
And he loves the lemonade.
That's what we do. So. And he has to get like an adult meal to fill him because just chicken and potatoes obviously isn't a whole lot.
Yeah.
You can get like the apple slices with it if you want like some fruit on the side.
What's the barbecue place that we went to?
Oh, so we would do Dickie's, and I think that's more widespread. Is that anyone on the East Coast or South? I think that's where it started.
Yeah, we have a Dickie's barbecue. Is that what it's called?
Well, they just closed it. Now the closest one is like an hour away.
That's what we went to.
We liked Dickie's because he could do the pulled pork, and he couldn't do their fries. Again, you have to check like every website. You can never slack.
They fry it in the same
with their battered okra. Yep, which has egg and the gluten breading.
We asked them to change the cutting board because they have a meat that has cheese in it, a sausage meat or something like that. Yeah. It has cheese in it. So we asked them to change the cutting board.
But again, you can watch them
because
it's like a line. So I've seen them be like, and I'm like, no, you gotta change that. Like,
and they'll usually put a stink up about the changing the cutting board too.
Mm-hmm.
But
I gotta wash a whole cutting board now.
Yeah.
I don't want to take my son to the ER. You know. So, but I do want to say this. This tip was given to me about eating out a long time ago, and I thought it was really wise from my friend Michelle Fogg. Are you on here? She said, you are always setting a precedent for future allergy people when you eat out. So, like, don't be rude. Like, even if they put up a stink, I still, like, give them sugar even when they're sour to me. Like, oh, thank you so much. I know that's extra work. Tip if you can. I usually try and, like, tweet the restaurant, like, eating here with my allergy son. Thank you so much. It's so nice to have somewhere to eat. And I always tell them that, like, you're one of the safe places. We don't go out to eat very often. We trust you guys. And I feel like, sometimes you have like young adults working there that don't get it and they're just making minimum wage and they just feel like you're making more work for them. So let them know they're appreciated. I just worry because I made that comment like, well, I'm going to have to take my son to the ER. And I'm just thinking that in my head. I don't ask him. I'm the least confrontational person. Like, I have attitude when I talk about it afterwards. Good. Yeah, my bark is like nothing.
Yeah, she talks.
All talk.
And I don't talk. I'm all about the action.
Well, and he's just very quiet and reserved. So if he sees out in public, it's like
if I have to get to it, I'm from Boston. I know how to get to it.
Yeah, he'll throw down. Not
physically,
fighting, but he'll handle.
I can put a little tone, a little bass in my voice.
Yeah, and I think he can be intimidating, and I like it. Like I'm like, okay, this like I handle most stuff, but then I'm like something really needs to be handled. It's like that's on you. I let you do your thing.
Every once in a while.
Yeah.
It's not too much.
Very attractive. Handling the business. Okay, I feel like we have missed things. Let me see. Yes, I love all the comments. Thanks, guys. Ask again if it gets scrolled and we miss it. I hate to miss anything. Okay, so Leah says, was there anything else you want to say about restaurants? Oh, Red Robin. We love Red Robin. We like Chipotle. And those are legit.
And our kids love fries, by the way.
Yeah.
So
they're all about the fries.
Yes, that's always like a common theme.
A go-to. And sometimes, like, it's some families go out for like ice cream for a treat. Like, we'll go out for fries and a drink. So we'll do like, let's go get a lemonade and fries. So we don't get a full meal, but just as like a little snack, especially if we're out and about and they're starting to get hungry because fries are a little more filling.
But Red Robin is allergy friendly. Like they'll ask you specifically.
And they have a good allergy menu.
What allergies you have, and they'll make sure not to cross contaminate. Speak to the manager.
Yeah, they're good.
All that. So our son there, he gets grilled chickens.
It's basically the same thing he gets as Chick-fil-A, but more expensive. But when we want like a nice sit down and we're sick of having chicken, like I want to be able to get a burger or something.
Yeah.
That's when we go to Red Robin.
Anywhere else?
I feel like we went in depth more about how to order on a previous live. So if you have more questions, that's another resource that you can have too. If we didn't answer anything in full. Okay. Because we try and keep these around a half an hour, so we got to rock and roll through these last few questions. Because I know it's late, like East Coast time, and we don't want to take up your time too much. So,
you just did a vanilla cake, so you're
in for a treat.
Yeah, sure, you're in for a treat.
Because I wanted to be able. Okay, I don't have a vanilla cake recipe on my site because yet. Well, I haven't because I haven't been happy with one. And like, I don't want to post a crap recipe. You know what I mean? Because you can do gluten-free white, but trying to do a gluten-free and egg-free because you need that egg has been really difficult, and they're either like way too heavy or way too dense. And I think I finally figured it out because my baby's about to turn 1, and I am like hell-bent on having a vanilla cake with strawberry frosting because I want pink for her. So I'm going to have a really good strawberry frosting too coming up. So that will be going live. So make sure you have notifications turned on for my social media, and I will be sure to post and announce about it. But you liked it. You said I put too much chocolate frosting on it, which there's never enough chocolate frosting on a cake.
But the cake frosting ratio for me was a little bit off. But yes, the cake part itself was good.
Thank you.
The frosting part was good. It was just
a bit much.
Wasn't the balance that I prefer.
See, I need like 90% frosting, 10% cake. Yeah, that's me. Well, if you ever want a different ratio, feel free to make it. But when I make it, that's
fine. I'm not a vanilla cake person anyways. I tried it out to give her feedback, so it's just feedback.
Just know everything on the blog I like force her to eat.
I'm a yellow cake person.
Yeah. There's I'm gonna be doing I'll spoil it. I'm doing like a rice pudding for my cookbook. If you didn't know, I'm doing a cookbook coming out in the winter. And he's not a big rice pudding person, but I make him try everything I make because I need another adult opinion, not just kids' opinions. I'm like, I know you don't really like rice pudding, but I just need you to try one bite. Tell me texture, tell me taste. So he's my official taste tester.
I feel like a 9-month-old being spoon-fed vegetables.
Pretty much. Did you experience a mourning period when you found out about your kiddo's allergies? My son is 3, and we found out about his allergies at 9 months. I was sad for a long time. Things have gotten easier in some ways, but other ways harder because he's becoming more aware of what he can and others have. It breaks my heart sometimes, just wondering if others ever feel this way. What would you say about that? I got lots of thoughts.
It's healthy to mourn that, what you just described. Personally, I don't know if I've experienced that, to be honest. I think I've been in support/fix mode.
Yeah, you probably need to grieve that a little more.
So, yeah, that's my perspective. But that's definitely healthy. Just because I haven't done it, I wouldn't say, well, you shouldn't do that. I think that's healthy. If that's how you naturally feel, I think that's healthy for you to experience that for what it is.
Yes, I think it's very healthy to grieve. I definitely have grieved. And I still grieve sometimes. I don't think that there's ever like a cutoff, like, oh, your son was diagnosed at 9 months, well, then you better be over that. Like, I think feelings are feelings, and we are not robots, and actually pushing them down and telling yourself, like, I shouldn't feel this way just exacerbates the problem. So feel the feelings. I think the only way out that we have learned in the last little bit, the hard way is the only way out is through. And you need to let yourself feel those feelings when they come up. And to me, I picture it like an ocean. Like, I let the emotions come, I feel what they are, and then you try and let them pass. Like, don't stay in that funk. You know what I mean? And one really helpful way to me is validation and talking to other people who get it, which is why we've started this live, because it can feel very invalidating when you talk to people who don't get it, and they're like, well, just get over it. It's just food, or, I mean, all the tough things that sometimes we hear. So, and there are times where I'll go long period of time where I feel fine. And I try and be very candid on my social media, especially my Instagram stories, is follow me there if you want like day-to-day live interactions. And just a few weeks ago, I was like, I'm totally bummed at my son's graduation. they freaking serve pizza and cookies. He could not have a single thing. Like, what the heck? Yeah. And just like this trip to Idaho, I'm like, oh my gosh, where are we going to eat? This really stinks that we just can't pull into McDonald's and order cheeseburgers. Like, this sucks. It's this extra level of frustration. So there are moments that I think are going to come up here and there, and feel those feelings and honor those feelings. We all had a different picture of what life would look like with our kids.
Yeah.
And it's a different, life has handed us a different opportunity. And that's okay to be sad about it. 100%. Anything else?
I think that was well said.
Thank you. Someone else is saying they love Chick-fil-A. Ooh, someone likes my chocolate birthday cupcake recipe. Thank you.
Yes, I like that one too.
That's why it's been hard for me to want to do vanilla.
And her Texas sheet cake.
Oh yeah, my chocolate sheet cake. It's one of my top recipes. It is the bomb.
Notice the theme is chocolate, by the way.
Chocolate. Yeah, it's hard for me to want to stray because whenever I want birthday cupcakes, I want my chocolate ones. So that's why it's been hard to want to do vanilla as well because we're just kind of hooked. So someone's saying for travel tips, she owns a travel agency and will usually talk to the resort or the ship and have them custom make things for my clients. It's great to be prepared when traveling. Oh, 100%. Yeah. And that's the other thing. You can't just be like, we're just going to go and like pick up and hope there's any food. Like it takes absolutely a level of planning and preparing. Like I'm going to have to bring a cooler of food this weekend, especially like his safe bread. So, and his sun butter, and I can borrow jam from someone. You know what I mean? Like things like that. Actually, I probably can't borrow jam because people probably stick their same knife in it. Never mind. Yeah, one more thing. I have a nut allergy son.
Was that as in Red Robin? Dina?
I know. What was it? Dina. That's so cool. I'll call his allergist. Yeah, it's sad. I'm excited to hear about Costa Vida because we've been turned away there in the past. Yeah, were you going to the Provo one? Look online and then show them and say, no, I've been told the chicken is safe. And I have told that chef, like, hey, your managers aren't up to date. So I can email him again or just call corporate and be like, I'm getting conflicting things. Like, you guys need to be on the ball and telling the same story because that's frustrating. Yay, someone else gets the same Chick-fil-A meal for them. The Midwest has them, I'm assuming Dickies. Is that what you meant, Dina? Sorry, we're like behind in the comments. We love Olive Garden, milk and beef for us, and they are amazing. That's shocking.
She doesn't like Olive Garden.
Well, first of all.
It's in general.
Yeah.
Not specifically.
I just feel like there are better Italian restaurants. Like if we go out without the kids, I love Macaroni Grill. I love.
She's Macaroni Grill all the way.
Well, no, what's the other one? That's on University Parkway. It's like the plants on top of it.
By the mall?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's evading me. That's so good. Romano's? No. Anyways, it'll come to me. But that's impressive because I would never dare try Olive Garden with a milk allergy because there's cheese everywhere. So that's good to know. If you can do gluten, but not milk, that's good to know they're accommodating because I'd be like, there's grated cheese everywhere. Like, so wow, that's cool. That's very cool. Yes, Amanda says, always be humble, educate, and advocate whenever you can. You're good at that, Amanda. We have the ability to change how people view food allergies and the accommodations we need. 100%, 100%. Yes. Oh, hey, Connie. Hey, Alicia. Who wrote that?
Who wrote what?
It says that I said hey, but I'm like, I didn't type that.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's on here. What do you get at Chipotle? Oh, it's been a long time.
Chipotle?
Oh, that's like all we ate at in Boston. Remember we went there multiple times.
True.
Because again, like in Boston, we're like, where do we eat? We'll just go to Chipotle.
Forever ago. We do have Chipotle here, but we
just prefer Costa because they're so similar. Basically, we get the same thing every go, like chicken because we can't do beef, chicken or pork on a corn tortilla with pico and guac, and fries if it's a fry serving place.
Yes.
Oh, we have eaten at, where did we go with your dad in Boston? Cheesecake Factory.
Cheesecake Factory.
Because they have gluten-free noodles, and you can do just their plain, like, marinara sauce. Which I just feel bad, because we feel like our son gets, like, really plain stuff. Like, plain chicken, plain potatoes, plain pasta, plain. But It feeds them. It keeps them full. A lot of people are loving Red Robin. I know. If you work there, let me know, because I'd love to work with you guys. Having contacts there.
Alicia's spamming you.
Oh. She has permission on my page. We love Red Robin. We have not
Is
yet.
She on Instagram?
Since our son. No, she's just to my page on Facebook.
Gotcha.
We have not been there since our son has been diagnosed with EOE. What about the oil used for the fries at Red Robin? Well, what is it you're trying to avoid? Are you worried about soy? Are you worried about peanut oil at Red Robin? We've never had an issue. Our son can do soy, and he's allergic to peanuts and tree nuts, and we've been fine at Red Robin. Mm-hmm. Hey, Jaden on YouTube. Thanks for saying hi. Oh, good. People are excited to try the vanilla cake. We'll be sure to do that.
Red Heat Tavern.
I'm so glad people are excited about the cake. That's great.
Thanks, Galen.
Oh, good. I know. Well, you know what's funny is I tried asking when we were going to Boston. I was like, where do we eat? But like my page was a lot smaller then, so I didn't get like any really good feedback. So now when we travel there again, we will have more people to let us know. Can't do cake, but I do love a good gluten-free Chardonnay. Yes, if you can't do one, do the other. Lady Catherine, why is it you can't do cake? I'm like, talk to me. I could probably find a substitution for you.
Yeah.
I kind of find it a fun challenge. Like, oh, what is it you can't do? Oh, we'll figure something out. So talk to me. What can you not do? Because all my stuff is gluten-free. We can't do gluten either. Hi, Nadine. If you are an adult, check your liquor and beer. They have gluten in them. Yes. We do not drink, so I'm sorry. I often forget to like bring up that point because it's not something we run into. So good point. Thank you.
Yes, barley and wheat.
Yeah.
Usually derivatives in beer.
Yes.
Which have gluten.
Yes. There are gluten-free beers though. I do have some gluten-free buddies, Celiac and the Beast, and my gluten-free kitchen, and they have some gluten-free beers that they have a good post about what they like and what they order and stuff. If you need to check them out. Sorry, I can't help you there.
We have a Culver's here too, Connie, but I've never been there.
Oh, interesting. So does I've heard Cubby's has good gluten-free buns.
Yeah.
Chicago Beef. And Chom has gluten-free buns.
Chom
Red Robin has gluten-free buns. Who else has gluten-free buns?
Gluten-free buns. Smashburger has gluten-free buns.
Yeah, he's a burger guy. He would know for all the places.
Five Guys does lettuce wrapped.
Yeah, In-N-Out does lettuce wraps. I feel like almost anywhere.
In-N-Out does lettuce wrapped.
Here's the good thing and bad thing. I feel like gluten-free is so well known now that you can get gluten-free at any restaurant. Like we've never, when we go on dates without the kids, and the only thing we have to worry about is gluten. We can go anywhere. There's always something. Now, if we can just get people to be like that with milk allergies, because it's like they just don't get it. There's not good substitutions. So we'll get there someday. I think enough people are jumping on the vegan bandwagon. That's going to help us out. We'll get some better milk options. Julie says, I was so grateful you taught me to grieve, Megan. Grieving things and feeling left out really does hurt. Getting through it means feeling all the feelings. Yes, Julie. Amen. Amen. Amen, Julie. Truth. Hey, Angela. Good to see you. Let's see. And Connie would know. Connie does gluten-free well. So thank you, Connie, for the tip. The teachers always ask me to please attend the event so I can monitor his food. I had that happen. We moved and switched schools like towards the end of the year, and I had one teacher that was fine, but I would still offer to volunteer. And of course, like what teacher doesn't want an extra parent at parties and stuff? And then the next teacher was a lot more tense, her personality. So she was like, I need you there. And I was like, that's fine. I'm happy to be there. So, you know, each teacher's personality is different. I prefer to be there anyways, just especially while they're young. There's so much like touching and sharing and stuff going on.
It might not be that they aren't sure how to handle it, but it just could be just the anxiety.
Yeah. And I think this teacher was well at explaining that. She was like, I just worry because I have like 20 plus, I can't remember, it was a big classroom of students to keep my eyes on. And so she's like, it's hard for me to know that he's okay all the time because I can't sit and watch him. And I was like, I get that. I totally get that. But honestly, I think the best thing to do in that situation is to clarify. Like, oh my gosh, I'm learning clarify communication. Like, what is it about? Because it's so easy for us to assume like, oh, they don't get this, they don't get that. But how do we? You will never know someone's motive, right, until you ask them. So, what is it that you're nervous about the party? How can I help you with that? You know, because maybe it's not. Maybe it's just like, or maybe she knows like I've got these kids in the classroom that are so rowdy and they throw their food, or like who knows? You know, like it's just so good for you to assess the complete situation instead of just assuming, oh, they're nervous because it's a food allergy. Because there's so many aspects about it that we're used to as allergy parents that for someone brand new, it can feel very overwhelming. And I think we have to like have some grace with that. Like, okay, we're so used to reading labels. We're so used to avoiding cross contact. We're so used to cleaning everything. And it just, when it's brand new, it can feel really overwhelming. Thank you so much for all of your help with food allergies. You're so welcome, Anita. Carrabba's! Oh, that's the Italian restaurant that I love. I think I actually like, it's a toss-up.
I like Carrabba's.
They are really good.
Oh, we're not going to do it.
Really good. Oh, we need to go there again. Who has hookups at Carrabba's? They know, so I'm guessing you're talking about Olive Garden, Amanda. She says they know my daughter and make a big deal every time she goes there. They have her order memorized and they make her feel special. That's really sweet.
Rubio's.
That's cool.
Rubio's is another one.
Rubio's.
Yes.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, so we only have one Rubio's in our area, and so maybe some are different. The only reason why I ever felt even comfortable going there is because we used to know someone that worked there, but he no longer works there. I haven't felt super confident ordering there. Like sometimes they're like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I feel like I've had to like really walk them through it, and that just doesn't instill confidence in me when they seem very like, and not that I want someone that's like, yeah, I got it. Like you want that fine line of like, they're taking it serious, but they've had this before and they know how to handle it.
Like she mentioned,
I didn't enjoy ordering there.
The one that she's thinking of, we're in a college town. So they have a lot of young people working there. But in general, they are allergy friendly. When they have someone who's educated and helpful, they have the ability to be allergy friendly. Like our son likes corn tortillas. Mm-hmm. So they have that option. He likes fish.
Yeah, it's the only restaurant
he can do that. Fish. And they have non-breaded fish. Mm-hmm. So he can do that.
So he can do fish tacos. That's the only place we can get fish tacos around here. So he loves that. That's kind of different than his typical chicken tacos.
Yeah.
Okay, because that is a really good question that we actually didn't answer, I don't think, when we did a specific eating out food one. And it was, do you order what they order so that way everyone has the same foods, or do you dare order stuff that aren't like allergy safe?
No, we order what we order.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've ever not done that, but yeah.
I'm sure at some point.
And it can be an experience as far as him expressing feeling different at times or not being able to have something that we're having.
For the most part, though, he loves what he gets, and we eat out so rarely that he's like, yes, my fries and my chicken nuggets. Like, he's pretty stoked. And sometimes we'll get more adult-like things. So he's like, I want a burger with mushrooms on it. Or I don't like our stuff sometimes looks weird to him. And here's my train of thought that made me feel comfortable doing it.
I'm also gluten sensitive, so we have that in common where I don't have bread.
Mm-hmm. We always say Daddy has to order special too.
Or I'll pick something.
Or Daddy can't eat what's on his plate.
Has a corn option versus a wheat option.
Yeah.
But in general, I still get cheese or beef or all the other things that I can have that he probably can't have.
Yeah. Well, and here's my train of thought for, I guess, why I feel comfortable doing it. You can share. Mm-hmm. But when you eat at a restaurant, if you look at the back of the house where they're preparing food, they're preparing all sorts of stuff, right? So I figure they're already making unsafe food next to by his. So that's happening regardless of what I order. Like me ordering the same thing isn't going to make his food any safer being prepared back there. So I figured there's already food going on, and we eat out so rarely, and I don't want plain chicken. I don't want just fries. Mm-hmm. So for me, it's a treat. It's like, oh my gosh, I don't have to cook tonight because that so rarely happens. And I feel like we are so aware because we're like, I have my 2 boys usually order the exact same thing. Mm-hmm. That way if they share or there's leftovers, I don't have to worry about who got what. Like I have the kids all get the same thing.
Or you usually share your meal with our other stuff.
Yeah. But I guess I just feel very comfortable. Like I know how to not cross-contaminate. I know, okay, I've touched this cheese. Now I know I cannot help cut up this food now. Like I feel very confident, but it took a while for me to feel that way. But we've been dealing with food allergies long enough that I feel like, okay, I know I have to go wash my hands with soap and water now because I've touched this cheese from the cheeseburger, or you know what I mean? And he's old enough now, he doesn't really need a lot of help, so he can eat his food entirely separate. Mm-hmm. He's not cross-contact, so like me touching, like if I touch my burger and accidentally touch him, it wouldn't send him into anaphylaxis. Mm-hmm. We always have, our EpiPens on us, so I feel like there's enough protocols in place that we've never had any issues eating out. We've never had to use our EpiPen. We've never even had hives, knock on wood. So we've always been okay to do that. And like I said, he's usually so thrilled with what he got. I mean, I don't think I would ever get like, I'm so careful.
Yeah, she's careful about like certain snacks and treats.
Yeah, I audit myself. I don't get everything that I want. Like when we go to Red Robin, I would love to get like a big old brownie sundae afterwards.
Yeah.
But I would never eat that in front of him.
Especially if he can't have an option of having something.
So like I might let myself get a fancy drink because he gets to have a fancy Shirley Temple or a fancy lemonade or strawberry lemonade. But I always stick within like the same bounds. Like you're getting fries, I'm getting fries. Instead of getting chicken, I'm getting beef. Like I never get anything because that's just rude. Yeah. Like I've had to do an elimination diet when I was nursing and I hated, like, you're like, oh, so good. And you're like, drooling watching someone eat it.
Point.
Thank you. Well, because I've had it happen a lot. I know that feeling. So I don't want to be that way for him. Like, oh, let's go out to eat. You can have your plain stuff and mommy's going to have this like fabulous looking thing just dripping with, no, that I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, we don't do that.
I will save it till he's in bed and then I'll run out and do a treat run or something and eat it there. But no. And that's why I bake so much because I have such a sweet tooth and I want those things all the time. And so if I want to eat it around my son, I've got to learn to make it so he can have one too. That's honestly been the driving factor because I am way too much of a food junkie to eat as plainly as he might need to sometimes. That was a really long answer, but I hope that helps because are we allergic or just them? I don't have anything.
I'm not allergic. I have a gluten sensitivity.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. My husband works at Red Robin, and he says he wouldn't trust his location with our daughter. Oh, that's sad.
Interesting.
Where do you live?
I'm curious why that is. Like, does he feel they're just flat out irresponsible?
Yeah.
Does he feel that if someone were to come there and express that they have a food allergy, that they couldn't meet their needs? That's
interesting because I know so many allergy families. Like I feel like that's the number one recommended place is Red Robin because they have the allergy menu and so many people have had great experiences. So that's too bad. And that being said, I think that goes to say just because it's a chain restaurant doesn't mean it is always safe. There's different employees, different managers, and go with your gut. And if you hear a place is bad in your neck of the woods, listen to it. I'm sure there's a reason. Or go in and talk to them. Hey, I've heard you guys aren't great at this. Like, can I safely feed my child here?
Yeah.
And if you don't feel good about it, walk out. We've had to walk out from a restaurant, so it's not worth it. And that's the thing. And I think that's why we choose to not eat out very often because it is still a calculated risk. Like, they could use the same cutting board. They could use the same knife. They could not even listen to your request and think you're just full of crap. I always try and say things like, my son has a severe allergy, in order with the manager and try and be as serious as I can, but that's too bad. There's no foolproof unless you're making it at your own house and you are in control 100% of the time. But that's really too bad. That makes me sad. Blaze Pizza here locally has gluten-free. That's good to know, Amanda. Olier says no beef, dairy, eggs, fish, shellfish, tree nuts, peanuts, wheat, and soy. Okay, so we have all those same ones, except for my son can do fish and he can do soy. But most of my recipes don't have fish because I don't care for fish. And I always put a soy substitute. So hopefully my recipes would work for you. I'm sorry, that's a long list. We understand how hard of a list that is. In-N-Out, I haven't had a burger there in 15 years. We do love In-N-Out.
It's okay.
Thanks, Caitlin, for being on. Go get some sleep, girl. I know it's late. I'm worried I'm going to pass this on to my children. Not a parent yet, but don't wish my issues on anyone.
Never know.
Well, here's the thing. This is how I choose to look at it. You could pass on, like, you could have this rare dormant gene you don't even know about for some. I mean, there's so many awful rare diseases nowadays. And you might pass on a health issue, but you will also be passing on love. You'll be also passing on a good life. You'll be passing on support. And while it sucks to see your kids have these things, like, they can still have a wonderful, amazing life despite these things, you know? And I had an allergy mom friend one time being like, what if because, you know, there's sometimes studies are like, maybe if the mother didn't have a vaginal delivery, or maybe, and they're none of them are proven. As far as I know, they're like all hypotheses. And then like moms get these huge mom guilt, right? Like, oh, I didn't have enough probiotics when I was pregnant. And we all try and like work backwards to try and guess how we might have prevented it. You know, we'll never know for sure. And I just said, you know what? When I see parents with a child who's blind, I'm not like, how dare you? Or like, what did you do that made it so your child's eyes didn't function properly? Like, I never blame the parent when I see a child with issues. So I don't know why we think food allergy should be any different, but I feel like we always do that. It's like, it's a true blue medical condition. Yeah, we're always like making excuses, or other people make us feel like it's different, but it is a medical condition. Something in your body does not work right. Your immune system does not work right. You have no control over that. You can't help that, except for maybe with the LEAP study, introducing it earlier.
Well, that's the issue, right? We don't like feeling not in control.
Yeah.
So even if, as painful as it may seem to say, well, I caused that to happen, some people it's more painful that I couldn't prevent that.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
And I don't know. I just feel like at the end of the day, we have to cut ourselves slack, whether we pass it on or not, because we all are just doing the best that we can. And I don't know anyone who intentionally like, I hope my child has food allergies. I hope I pass down that gene. Like, it's never on purpose. And it is a rolling of the dice when you have kids with genetics, you know? And just try and have some grace for yourself, because that's a hard place to be when you start putting all that responsibility on yourself when you're not the one putting together that DNA sequence. It's not you. You know what I mean? But I can appreciate why you wouldn't want your kids to deal with this. And I had a friend tell me when I was like, oh, I hope we don't have another kid with EOE. And she was like, who better to deal with it? Yeah. Like, you've gone through the learning curve and you appreciate it and you understand, you have the sympathy and the validation. Like, you'll be the best allergy parent because you have experienced it yourself. So at least it'd be a shared trial. You know what I mean? Okay, guys, we're going to just take like 2 more questions and then we better wrap it up. Please save these for next week. My 15-year-old granddaughter lives with type 2 diabetes, and all her teachers have had training on how to help my granddaughter. And she's provided a bag with snacks in case she needs to go get it. My granddaughter carries her Lifeline backpack 100% of the time. Also, before lunch, she has the nurses to go check her blood glucose. Exactly. Like, there's kids with all sorts of issues, whether it's diabetes, and that heavily involves what you eat. You know, like, kids learn to cope. And I think we need to give kids some credit too. Like, parents, we have like extra emotional baggage we put on it, but like, kids are resilient. Kids are so resilient. My daughter is 6 in her first year at school. Her teacher has not been very communicative with me. For example, there was a school party with a note sent home stating the date week away. I thought, good, I have a few days to speak to the teacher regarding what foods are going to be there. Picked my daughter up from school the next day, and she tells me the party was that day, and she didn't know what food to have and was anxious about it, so she had nothing.
I hope you talked to the teacher about that experience and how that was for you and your daughter.
And bravo to your daughter. That's hard as a kid to see food and be like, it probably is safe. You know, like, a lot of kids would have taken chances. So I hope you gave her a big freaking party of her own to reward her for being so responsible. And I'm really sorry. That just plain stinks.
Yeah.
When crap like that happens.
I'm glad it happened.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. Do you have a good book recommendation on food allergies, both for a food allergic child, but also for siblings to understand better? I really liked the one by Disney.
Box Trolls?
No, that's a movie and
awful.
awful.
Box Trolls.
No, it's got like regular Disney characters, and he like goes to school. I'm sorry, I can.
Daniel Tiger?
No, well, Daniel Tiger's really good too, but it's a book. It's a Disney book.
Oh.
It's at our allergist office. And that's good. It talks about him going to school and things like that. There's also another one. I'm sorry, I know the titles. We haven't done a lot of books on it because I feel like my kids.
Scout?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Amanda. The other one, oh, good night, Lady Catherine. The other one is about an elephant who can't have peanuts and he goes to school and has to have a special lunch. I know, it's very cute / ironic. Anyways, I can Google those for you and put them in the comments if you want afterwards. We just have never done books a lot just because I feel like because our kids grew up with it that they learned. Yeah, so there we go. So there are some that people are recommending. So hopefully that helps you. And then we just talk about like this is safe food and this is unsafe food. You know, like we try and put it in very black and white terms. So even when they're little, they understand like there's a distinction, there's a difference. And we always say, you know, if you were to eat that, you'd have to go to the hospital and you'd have to get an EpiPen shot in your leg. So try and just like, you know, not like, and your heart could stop. And like, it's that healthy line of letting them know that it can be fearful and it can be an unpleasant experience, but not like scaring the crap out of them. Just letting them know that this is a reality and this is what could happen. Talking about it very calmly, and that seems to have sunk in for the most part. So that's worked for us, but every child's personality is different.
Not necessarily for our 4-year-old, but
we'll do a whole other.
For our oldest, having had the experience of being in the hospital and in the ER, he gets it.
Our other one's getting a lot better the older he gets, though, so that's nice. Okay, guys, it is so late. So thank you. We didn't even really touch on summer too much, but that's okay. We can say it for another time because what's important to me is that it's a safe space where we can ask questions and we can, you know, answer each other's questions, volunteer stuff. So I always learn something. I appreciate you guys joining. I'm so sorry about Instagram. If you have friends that missed out on Instagram, let them know. This will be on my Facebook page forever in my video section. So thank you so much, guys.
Have a good
night. Bye.